Welcome back to Tales by WZ. Today's story follows a husband who checks a location app out of boredom and ends up discovering his wife at a romantic cottage with her personal trainer. As you listen, notice the exact moment where you think he was right to stop trying to save the marriage. My wife said, "You made me homeless." I replied, "See you in court." Then I drove back from the cottage, changed the locks, froze our accounts, and let the judge see every screenshot until her affair and secret savings completely blew up. I am 38, male, and this whole thing started on a very normal night. I was on the couch eating leftover pizza, half watching TV when my phone buzzed. My wife texted, "Staying at my friend's tonight, babe. Girl talk and wine. Don't wait up." I replied, "Have fun," and thought nothing of it. Her friend lived nearby. They did girls' nights maybe once a month. I expected to play some games, enjoy the quiet, and go to bed early. About an hour later, I was bored. That is honestly all it was at first. Boredom. Then I remembered the location sharing app on our phones, the one she had insisted we install after a true crime podcast scared her. "Just in case something happens to either of us," she had said, so I opened it, not because I was suspicious. Just because I had nothing else to do. Her little dot was not at her friend's house. It was about 200 miles away, near a lake in the middle of nowhere. I frowned and refreshed the app. Same spot, same dot. At first I told myself the tech must be glitching. That is easier than facing what your brain is whispering. Then I remembered our credit card app and opened that too. Recent charges, $450 at a cottage rental company in that same area, posted yesterday. Another charge, $195 at a fancy restaurant near that lake, posted 2 hours ago. My stomach dropped. I pulled up her trainer's Instagram. She had been working with him for about a year since she got into fitness. There was a story from that evening, a sunset over a lake. The location tag matched where her dot was. Everything lined up too neatly to ignore. I sat there for about 10 minutes, just staring at my screen. Then something in me went very cold and very clear. I grabbed my laptop, searched for divorce lawyers, picked one with good reviews, and filled out the consultation form. Then I looked back at that dot on the map. 4-hour drive. I threw some clothes in a bag, grabbed my folder of screenshots, and stopped at a 24-hour print shop on the way out of town. I printed everything: her text, the location screenshots, the credit card charges, his Instagram story. It cost about $35. This is where a lot of people hesitate and talk themselves out of what they already know. I decided I wanted the truth in front of my face. Then I got in the car and drove. I pulled up to the cottage around 1 in the morning. It was quiet. Her car was there. His car was next to it, one of those expensive sports cars that looks like a payment plan in disguise. I took photos of everything. License plates, cars, cottage, the little romantic setup they had going on. Then I called the rental company's emergency line. "Hi," I said. "I need to report fraudulent use of my credit card. Someone rented a cottage without my authorization." The guy on the phone sounded unsure. "Sir, if it's a joint card." "I'm the primary holder," I said. "I did not authorize this. I need the reservation canceled and the guests removed." He was quiet for a moment, then said, "We can cancel, but there is no refund and they will be asked to leave immediately." "Perfect," I said. I hung up and waited in my car. About 20 minutes later, the lights in the cottage came on. The door opened. My wife stepped out in a bathrobe, looking annoyed. The trainer was behind her, shirtless and irritated. They were arguing with someone I could not see, probably the property manager. I got out of my car and walked into the porch light. My wife saw me and froze mid-sentence. "Hey babe," I said. "How's girl talk?" She just stared at me, no words, just shock. The trainer tried to step forward. "Look man, we can explain," he started. "I don't care," I said. "I'm not talking to you." I looked at my wife. "I've got screenshots of everything," I said. "Your location, the cottage charge on our card, the restaurant charge, his Instagram post, your text lying about where you are, all of it." "This isn't what it looks like, I can explain," she said. "No," I said. I've already booked a lawyer consult for the morning. You can explain it to them. From now on, everything goes through lawyers." The property manager cleared his throat. "Folks, I need you to vacate. The reservation has been canceled." "They're all yours," I told him. Then I turned back to my wife. "Enjoy finding a hotel at 1 in the morning." I got into my car and drove 4 hours back home. My hands shook the whole way, but my mind was made up. Sometimes the most powerful choice is the first one where you say, "I am done." The next morning, I went straight from my driveway to the lawyer's office. I showed her everything: the texts, the charges, the cottage photos. She looked through the folder and said, "This is very clear. She used marital funds to finance an affair. That helps us." We filed for divorce that same day. 3 days later, she got served at the gym while she was with him. Yes, I arranged that. Petty maybe, honest about that. Also honest that it felt fair. That afternoon, she came to the house. I had already changed the locks. My lawyer had advised it since she had spent the last 3 nights at her mother's. I heard her trying her key, then pounding. "Open this door right now," she shouted. I spoke through the doorbell camera. "You can pick up your essentials tomorrow afternoon," I said. "Schedule it through my lawyer." "You can't lock me out. This is my house too," she yelled. "You have been at your mom's for 3 days," I said. "You established residence somewhere else, but if you think I'm wrong, call the police." "They'll explain it." She did. 2 officers showed up later. I stayed calm, showed them the divorce filing, told them about the cottage, the charges, the nights at her mother's. I showed them the text where she said she was going to her friends and then drove 4 hours away instead. The older cop looked tired. "Ma'am, this is civil," he said. "You need to handle it through your lawyers. You can't force your way in during an active divorce." "He's making me homeless," she said. "You've been staying with your mother," he replied. "You have a place to stay." They left. She stood in the driveway yelling about abuse and abandonment. They ignored her. The next day, her mother came in hot. She did not knock. She just started screaming outside my door. "You monster! Open this door and face me like a man," she shouted. I pressed the camera button. "I'm not interested in talking to you," I said. "My daughter made one mistake and you're destroying her life," she said. "One mistake is forgetting an anniversary," I replied. "This was lying, cheating, and spending our shared money on it. That's a chain of choices." "She loves you. She's devastated," her mother said. "She was so devastated she spent 3 days at a cottage with her trainer," I said. "I'm sure she cried the whole time." "You'll pay for this. We'll take everything from you," she snapped. "Okay, see you in court," I said, and muted the camera. She yelled for another half hour before finally leaving. Soon, her lawyer sent their first list of demands. She wanted me to move out and give her exclusive use of the house during the divorce. She wanted $3,500 monthly in temporary support. She wanted both cars, even though both were titled in my name. She wanted full custody of the dog I had owned 7 years before I even met her. My lawyer read the letter and actually laughed. "The entitlement is remarkable," she said. Her reply was simple: absolutely not. She asked for discovery of my wife's actual financial contributions and stated clearly that the dog was mine. Then my bank called. "Sir, we flagged a suspicious transfer attempt from your joint account. $15,000 to a new external account," the rep said. "Freeze the account," I said. "We are in the middle of a divorce. Remove her online access until the lawyers sort it out." They put a hold on everything. My phone blew up. "You froze the account. How is she supposed to survive?" her sister asked. "She tried to pull $15,000 without a word," I replied. "She can survive at her mother's house." "You're being cruel and vindictive," one of her friends said. "She cheated with her trainer using our money," I said. "I'm protecting my assets. There's a difference." Then the trainer himself called. "Dude, you have to chill out," he said. "She's going through a really hard time because of you." I almost laughed. "She's going through a hard time because she blew up her own life," I said. "I just noticed." "You're being a jerk about this whole thing," he said. "Just be cool and let her have some money to get on her feet." "Let me get this straight," I said. "You slept with my wife and now you want me to give her money." She needs help, man. You're her husband, he said. Soon to be ex-husband because of you and her, I said. Mostly her, but you helped. Whatever, you're just bitter, he said. One more thing, I added. I filed a complaint with your gym's corporate office. Sleeping with married clients is against your contract. Thought you should know. You what? He said. I hung up. I had already sent corporate everything that morning. Emails with photos, screenshots, dates. 2 days later, I found out he had been fired for violating professional conduct policies. When my wife learned that, she lost it. She sent a flood of angry messages from different numbers. You got him fired. What is wrong with you? This is psychotic, one of them said. I replied once. He chose to sleep with a married client. That broke his rules, not mine. All communication goes through lawyers now. Then I blocked every number. Over the next month, the legal part started to grind on. She filed an emergency motion asking for access to the house and painting me as some controlling husband who locked her out suddenly and hoarded all the property. At the hearing, she showed up with her mother and sister, all in dark clothes, eyes red, full sad performance. Her lawyer spoke about my cruelty and sudden eviction. Then my lawyer handed the judge a packet. Your Honor, here is the text where she said she was staying at a friend's for girl talk, she said. Here is the location data showing she was at a cottage with her personal trainer instead, paid for with marital funds. Here are the credit card charges, the cottage photos, and proof that she has been staying with her mother since. The judge turned to my wife. Is this accurate? He asked. She started to cry. I made a mistake, she said. He's been emotionally distant for months. That is not what I asked, the judge said. Did you go to this cottage with another man while telling your husband something else? Yes, but I was confused, she said. And did you stay at your mother's afterwards? He asked. I needed time to process, she replied. Emergency motion denied, the judge said. You established residence elsewhere. If you want property access, file the proper motion. Her lawyer tried to argue. The judge shut it down. Outside the courtroom, her mother pointed at me. You manipulated the judge, you liar, she said. I presented facts, I said. Your daughter lied. That's why the judge did not believe her. She's suffering. Don't you care? She asked. She is feeling the consequences of her own choices, I said. That is not the same as suffering done to her. Her sister jumped in. She told us how controlling you are, how you monitor everything, she said. I found out about the affair by accident, I said, but thanks for confirming she's been painting me as the villain for a while. They kept shouting. I walked away. Later that day, she showed up at my office. Security called me. There is a woman in the lobby saying she is your wife, says it is an emergency, they said. We are divorcing, I said. There is no emergency, please ask her to leave. She says you have her medication and she needs it, they said. I went down. She was crying, makeup streaked. I need my anxiety meds, she said. They're at the house. I'm having panic attacks. Text me the prescription details, I said. I'll have the pharmacy deliver them to your mother's address. I need my clothes, my makeup, my stuff, she said. Make a list, I said. Send it to my lawyer. We will schedule a supervised pickup. Why are you so heartless? Don't you care about me at all anymore? She asked. This is the point many people get pulled back in by guilt. I thought about it and decided to stay with the truth. You spent 9 years with me, I said. You let me work 60-hour weeks so you could quit your job and find yourself. Then you cheated with a guy who is barely 30. You lied to my face about where you were. You used our money for your affair. Then you tried to move $15,000 out of our joint account. No, I don't care about you anymore. I care about protecting myself from you. Security walked her out while she yelled that I was a narcissist. During financial discovery, my lawyer found another surprise. There was a bank account I had never heard of, opened by her 2 years earlier. Small transfers from our joint account had been going there. 200 here, 300 there. Over time, it added up to about $19,000. When this came up in the next hearing, her lawyer called it her personal savings. My lawyer called it what it was: marital funds moved without disclosure, dissipation of assets. The judge froze that account and ordered full disclosure of everything. She broke down in court. She started calling me from new numbers, saying I was taking everything and she had nothing. "You have whatever you earned yourself," I said once. "Which, right now, is nothing. You quit your job 6 months ago. I was the only one bringing in income." "I worked for our marriage," she said. "I took care of the house." "You went to the gym and did yoga," I said. "That is not the same as having a job." She screamed about deserving support. I hung up. The gym's investigation into the trainer uncovered even more. He had done this with other married clients. My complaint was just the final push. He was let go from the industry entirely. She somehow found out and sent one last message blaming me for ruining his life and hers. I sent one response: "You both ruined your own lives. I just stopped shielding you from consequences." Then I blocked her on every channel. My lawyer told me to stay no contact and let the process work. 7 months after that night at the cottage, the divorce was final. The settlement was ugly and slow. Her lawyer kept trying to drag things out, filing motions, asking for delays, hoping I would break and give more. The judge finally set a trial date. That meant everything would go on public record. The affair, the hidden account, the attempted transfer, all of it. 2 weeks before trial, she agreed to settle. We sold the house. After paying the mortgage, each of us got about $82,000. She wanted more. She claimed her emotional labor made the house valuable. The judge did not agree, especially not with that $19,000 account sitting there. The judge counted that secret account as money she had already taken out of the marriage. That reduced what she got from the rest. She asked for $3,500 a month in support for 5 years. The judge gave her $1,100 a month for 18 months, labeled as rehabilitative support so she could get job skills. She wanted the newer car. She got the older one. I kept my truck. We split retirement savings. I lost about $38,000 from my 401k. That stung but was expected by law. She tried to fight for my dog. The judge looked at the adoption papers and vet records, all in my name from before the marriage, and said the dog stays with me. She cried harder about the dog than anything else. We also learned she had about $7,500 in personal credit card debt from shopping and eating out. That stayed hers alone. In the end, I lost money. About $38,000 in retirement, around $25,000 in legal fees, and I am paying her about $20,000 over these 18 months. But I walked away with my share of the house equity, my truck, my dog, and my freedom. The affair did not legally change everything, since we are in a no-fault state, but it clearly affected how the judge viewed her honesty. As for her life now, it is different. Things with the trainer fell apart after he got fired. They tried to make it work for about 5 weeks, then he left. It is harder to play soulmates when the money and job are gone. She lives with her mother. They fight a lot. Her mother expects her to work and contribute. She expects to be taken care of while she heals. She eventually got a retail job, probably around $35,000 to $40,000 a year. The support I pay basically doubles that. It is the only reason she is staying afloat. Many of her friends faded away. It turns out loud public cheating does not earn long-term loyalty. The ones who defended her early on drifted off when more facts came out. She also got banned from the gym after she caused a scene there when the trainer was fired, yelling at staff, throwing equipment. They removed her and revoked her membership from the whole chain. For me, life is quieter and better. I bought a smaller house. It is not fancy, but it is mine, just me and my dog. The mortgage is lower than before. Even with the legal costs, I am stable. Work promoted me a few months ago. When you are not pouring energy into chaos at home, you have more to give to your job. I got a raise of around $12,000. I started seeing someone new very slowly. She knows the whole story. Her reaction was simple. So she cheated on you, lied about it, tried to move your money, and then played the victim. And some people actually felt sorry for her. That told me a lot about her ability to tell the difference between a story and reality. I also went to therapy. At first, I did not want to admit I needed it, but talking through the trust issues with a professional made a big difference. I am more cautious now, but I am not stuck. My ex tried reaching out through a mutual friend recently. She wanted closure and to apologize properly. I sent back a message, "We are done. I do not need or want your apology. Move on." I have not heard from her since. Looking back, maybe I did not need to drive to that cottage in the middle of the night. I had enough evidence already. But seeing it with my own eyes and seeing her face when she realized she was caught closed something in me. The revenge was not some big plan. It was just refusing to be a doormat, not letting her rewrite the story with me as the villain, not funding her new life after she destroyed the old one. She lost her marriage, her home, her financial safety, her trainer, some friends, her reputation, and her gym. It is enough for me. She made her choices. I stopped protecting her from what those choices cost. Lesson 1: when your gut and the facts line up, believe them. You do not owe anyone more denial. Lesson 2: cheating plus lies plus shared money is not a mistake. It is a pattern. And patterns deserve consequences, not excuses. Lesson 3: protecting your home, your savings, and your mental health is not cruelty. It is basic self-respect. Lesson 4: no contact is often the only way to stop someone from dragging you back into their version of the story. Lesson 5: being the bigger person does not mean letting someone walk all over you. Sometimes it means quietly enforcing boundaries and letting the truth do the work. Lesson 6: document everything and get good legal advice. Feelings fade, but paperwork protects you. What do you think? Would you have driven to that cottage or handled it differently? And have you ever dealt with someone who tried to play the victim after they were the one who broke the trust? Share your thoughts. Your story might help someone who is listening right now.